They think they've got this election locked up, and they are planning to pack the Supreme Court. Now, packing the Supreme Court, the point about packing the Supreme Court is it essentially turns it into the House of Lords. It essentially turns the Supreme Court into an alternative legislator, because you add, say, 3 justices, 4 justices, and a leftist president, Kamala Harris, appoints them. You have completely skewed the Supreme Court without playing the game the way the game is played, without saying it's you can do it, because it doesn't mention how many justices are on the court in the Constitution, but you could do it forever. Next time the Republicans win, they can pack the court with 15 judges. I mean, you can do it forever. It becomes essentially the House of Lords. Somebody really, FDR tried to do this. He tried to do this because I think it was 1937. He was frustrated that they kept saying he couldn't put the New Deal into operation because it was unconstitutional. So he threatened them with packing the Supreme Court, and one of the judges started to give him the decisions he wanted. They called it the switch in time that saved 9. Here's what Joe Biden had to say about that in 1983, when he first came out of his cave and was running. He was in government. This is cut 7.
President Roosevelt clearly had the right to send to the United States Senate and the United States Congress a proposal to pack the court. It was totally within his right to do that. He violated no law. He was legalistically absolutely correct, but it was a bonehead idea. It was a terrible, terrible mistake to make, and it put in question, for an entire decade, the independence of the most significant body, including the Congress, in my view, the most significant body in this country, the Supreme Court of the United States of America.
Packing the court was a bonehead idea. Then the other day, he was asked if he would pack the court if he won. This is cut 14, and he wouldn't answer.
They'll know my opinion of court packing when the election is over. Now, look, I know it's a great question, and I don't blame you for asking it. But the moment I answer that question, the headline in every one of your papers will be about that. Other than focusing on what's happening now.
So he doesn't want to address the issue, because then the issue would become an issue. It's news. It's news if he would pack the Supreme Court. So he doesn't want it to become news. Now, even the poodle press, even the Democrat poodle press, started to push back on this, and they asked him, don't the American people deserve, you're running for president, don't the American people deserve to know what you will do as president of the United States? Isn't that what a campaign is supposed to establish? Here's his response, cut 16.
Sir, I've got to ask you about packing the courts, and I know that You said yesterday you aren't going to answer the question until after the election, but this is the number one thing that I've been asked about from viewers in the past couple of days.
Well, you've been asked by the viewers, who are probably Republicans, who don't want me continuing to talk about what they're doing to the court right now.
Well, sir, don't the voters deserve to know?
No, they don't. I'm not going to play his game. He'd love me to talk about, and I've already said something on court pack. He'd love that to be the discussion instead of what he's doing now.
You don't deserve to know. You don't deserve to know what he's going to. You're just a voter. Come on. Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? You're just the voter. You do not deserve to know who you're voting for or what he will do. That's not the way this works. That is not the way this works. The guy's wearing a mask. He's hiding in his basement. It's like one of those things where you go to a party and you pick a bag and you don't know what's inside it. That's what an election is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be a discussion of you don't deserve. No. So even amazingly, even the press is starting to push back on this. Here's John Karl, a reliable left-wing Democrat reporter who's constantly going after Trump, but not after the left. Here's him. Here he is talking about this, cut 9 on Good Morning America.
It's not just that he won't answer the question, it's the clumsy way in which he says he won't answer the question. He said in an interview yesterday, asked directly, don't the people have a right to know? And he said, no, voters don't have a right to know where he stands on this. And he also said a couple of days ago that he will give an answer on this after the election. So it's very strange. This is a major issue. This is not a trivial issue, and he's saying he won't tell voters where he stands until after they have voted. I don't think it's very helpful.
Wow. I mean, that's coming from John Karl. And if you think that's amazing, Jake Tapper for a moment woke from the sleep of being a Democrat and suddenly became a journalist again, as he used to be. And he was interviewing Biden campaign coordinator Kate Bedingfield. And he actually challenged her. I was shocked. It's cut 21.
He said it's not constitutional what they're doing. How is it not constitutional what they're doing?
The vast majority of people say that they want the person who wins the election on November 3rd to nominate the justice.
That's a poll. That's
seat.
not the Constitution.
So poll after poll shows that most Americans vehemently disagree with this. They believe
Kate, that's
that the vote should happen on November 3rd.
That's not what the word constitutional means. Constitutional doesn't mean I like it or I don't like it. It means it's according to the U.S. Constitution. There's nothing unconstitutional about what the U.S. Senate is doing.
So they got to give him another shot. He got to put him. We got to go back to sleep, Jake. Go back to sleep. That's not supposed to happen. It happened on CNN, the most busted name in news. I mean, that's not supposed to be what's going on. So Biden comes up. I'm sure somebody told him to do this. I'm sure he couldn't think of it himself at this point. He comes up with the talking point that will now spread through the journalistic community. This is cut 15.
The only court packing going on right now is going on with the Republicans in the court now. It's not constitutional what they're doing. We should be focused on what's happening right now. And the fact is that the only packing going on is this court is being packed now by the Republicans after the vote has already begun.
It's not constitutional what's going on. The Supreme Court justice dies. The President of the United States nominates another one. The Senate advises and consents on it. But that's not constitutional because it's in the Constitution that that's what's supposed to happen, but it's not what they want to happen, so it's not constitutional. And this spreads. I wasn't joking in the opening. Dan Rather actually said, yeah, the GOP's been packing the court. And the Associated Press did indeed call it depoliticizing the court. It is depoliticizing the court. It is now going to become depoliticizing the court to actually add people onto the Supreme Court so you can get all the decisions to go your way. That's deep. You know, it's 1984. It's like everything is not exactly what it is. Unbelievable stuff. But it's lying because their virtue is more important than even the truth.